the key factor to watch out for.
Absolutely. That is what we'll be keeping an eye out on. On that note, let's get started with the show with our Movers and Shakers segment, where we track a whole host of stocks that are buzzing in trade on the back of news flow. And first up, let's talk about auto stocks, right? Whether you look at Motherson Sumi Wiring, we have Ola Electric, Electra Green Tech, all these stocks are buzzing in trade. Now, what are the sources saying? That China may actually lift curbs on rare earth magnets. For more details on this, let's go across to Sudarshan. Good afternoon, Sudarshan. All of these stocks are, running away in trade today. What are these important details we should keep an eye out on now?
Good afternoon, Vinny. So another day, another positive news for the auto sector. If yesterday it was about GST rationalization, today it's about rare earth magnet issue. Now, what's the update? Sources indicate that Indian Foreign Minister had a meeting with Chinese Foreign Minister in which Indian Foreign Minister has raised few issues, and that include rare earth magnet supply, to which he got the assurance from Chinese Foreign Minister that China will be looking into this issue. Now, market is expecting that China may lift curb on rare earth magnet supply. Remember, China almost controls 70 to 80% of rare earth processing. Now, if this curb is lifted, it will be positive not only for the major auto companies, but also for auto ancillary companies. But the biggest positive or biggest beneficiaries would be companies which have the major exposure to EV sector. So if you can see, top nifty gainer is Tata Motors, up more than 3%. It has huge exposure to EV in the form of JLR. Even Samvardhana Motherson is up more than 3 to 4% because it has some of the clients which has huge exposure in EV. Then Sona BLW is up almost 3 to 4%. It's the same story that Samvardhana Motherson has. So that's one of the major reasons today all the auto companies you are seeing trading with big gains.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, Sudarshan, thanks very much for that. In fact, the Nifty Auto Index up around 1% today, but it's already rallied 5% this week, and on a month-to-date basis as well, it's up around 7.5%. Let's not forget, year-to-date, it's gained around 11%. So the Nifty Auto Index building on in terms of gains today. But the other segment which is really in focus is textile companies, and we're covering that on our Movers and Shakers segment, as the government has scrapped the duty on cotton imports till the 30th of September. Vinny, tell us the impact.
So absolutely, this is some positive move finally coming in, right? Given those, US tariffs, the concerns around that front, especially for the textile industry, was major. Now, government has said that they will be scrapping duty on import of raw cotton, and this is going to be till 30th of September, starting with effect from 19th of August. So this scrapping of duty, as well as there's going to be scrapping of agriculture infrastructure development cess. This is also a part of it. So this both will be scrapped for a period of around 42 days. Now, the custom duty on imports of cotton was currently at around 11%. So at least for this 40-day period around, where these textile players may get some relief that comes in. And this move mainly was aimed to mitigate the pressure that was coming in on this industry due to that 50% tariff that may come into effect, which is imposed by the US government. So that was a concern, and we had spoken to a whole host of textile companies which also sounded this concern. So maybe at least some bit of that relief that comes in for this textile chain. So whether you look at yarn players, fabric, garment players, made up garments as well is what they're looking out for. So Gokaldas Exports, Vardhman Textile, Welspun Living, all these are buzzing in trade on the back of the cease flow.
Okay, all right. So all of those textile stocks in focus. But Reema, over to you. Jio's new effective entry-level plan online is available at around 299 odd rupees. Give us a sense in terms of why Jio is in focus today and hence Reliance Industries.
Thanks so much for that. So Jio has tweaked its prepaid pricing, especially at the entry level. Now, earlier, the baseline or the entry-level tariff was you get 1 GB of data per day for 22 days. If you take a 22-day pack, you pay 209. If you take a 28-day pack, a 4-week pack, you have to pay 249. The change is that these entry-level plans are still available in a store. You go to a point of sale, a POS store, physically you will get it. But online, these plans are no longer available. Online, if you want to recharge a prepaid card, then the cheapest plan is now a 299 plan. But the change is earlier for 249, you were getting 1 GB of data. Now for $299, you're getting 1.5 GB of data. So effectively for the online medium only, for online recharges, the 1 GB per data plan by Reliance Jio no longer exists. Now this is a positive because indirectly this is a tariff increase. And according to certain estimates by brokerages, this can benefit Jio's ARPU anywhere between about 4 to 7%, which is why you are seeing the stock price do well today.
Okay, Rima, just want some more details also on, is there a case for Bharti and VI to scrap this 1 GB day plan as well then?
So, as I was explaining, now for Reliance Jio online, if you want to recharge, you no longer have a 1 GB data option available. But for Bharti and Vodafone Idea, you still do. They still offer a 1 GB data plan per day, which is priced at 299 rupees. But if they decide to scrap it and they move to 1.5 GB of data, that means then the price goes up to 349. And here we're asking the question that after Jio has moved on tariffs, will its peers, its competitors also move on the tariff front? And the argument that people are saying is that possibly yes, because the industry has been calling for tariff repair, they've been talking about ARPUs inching up, and plus data is now become such a necessity. It is a requirement. Our data consumption has been going up day after day. So therefore now it's no longer an option to downtrade, to say that I don't want to pay more, I'm willing to do with less data for the same price. And therefore analysts are pointing out there is a possibility, or there is a case for its peers also perhaps to discontinue the 1 GB data plan, that's Bharti and Vodafone Idea, and maybe move to 1.5 GB of data per plan. If that happens, again, like in the case of Reliance Jio, you will see an ARPU boost even for Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea if they decide to follow suit.
Okay, all right, Rima, thanks very much for that. And in fact, Sudarshan as well as Vinny for joining into our Movers and Shakers segment to give us all of the buzzing stocks at this hour. Well, we'll take a short break, but we'll get you more on the markets and also focus on the monsoon mayhem playing out in the city of Mumbai and Maharashtra.